Hi everyone, welcome back to the Reclaimed Ranch. My name is Tara and today's video is one of those flippin' frenzies with Sonnet's membership group. So we have several members that each get a box of different items from our own stash and we send it to a different person and receive from a different person, and then we have to upcycle and make beautiful home decor. So this video is all about beating the winter blues. So the only thing we all have to have in this video is like a vintage suitcase of some sort. And so with that, then we get our box of goodies, upcycle to put those inside the suitcase, and I have a fun and interesting suitcase for you all, but I think it's gorgeous, and it does get me out of those winter blues. It keeps the hope of spring alive, and so I'm calling mine the Garden Glory. And you'll have to comment and let me know what you guys think. And she gave me some interesting items that I really had to think hard about what to do with. So I hope you enjoy and stay tuned. All right, so we are going to be doing our Flippin' Frenzy video with Sonnet's membership group. And Lisa has sent me a box of goodies for our challenge, which is the Beat the Blues, the Winter Blues. And with this challenge, we have to use a suitcase. And so all of the items, or most of the items in this box, I'm going to try and upcycle and put into a theme into my suitcase for Beat the Winter Blues. So let's find out what she sent me. All right, so we've got this cute little pink hanky with little embroidered flowers, super cute. And oh, we have some, looks like metal stakes for staking down like a tent or something. That's gonna be interesting to see if I can come up with something for that. And then we have little wooden mushrooms, cute. We have a glass bottle. Always love those for some decor with some greenery or florals. And what else do we have in here? Oh, we have a little wooden box with a handle, a wire handle. I am not sure what that is. That like a cutout of a state, or I can't really figure out what it is. A leaf, maybe? I don't know. We'll figure something out for that. She gave me some tulips. I love that. And oh, this is cool. So this Crown and Bridge resin. Oh my gosh. And I worked in the dental field forever. Biolon caulk. So they used this for Crown and Bridge work. That is awesome. I don't want to do anything to this. How fun. And then I got a wooden tile. That could be cool to paint and upcycle with some IOD. Oh, we got some tiny little nests with some snow on them. That's adorable. And a wooden bead ring. She gave me a ton of stuff. What else do we have in here? Oh, we've got like a silver tray platter type. And some little toy blocks. That's cool. And a book. The Cat Who Dropped a Bombshell. That'll be interesting. And then a cigar box. How awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys. I have so many things floating around in my head. She gave me a ton of cool stuff. I cannot wait to get started. So this is my suitcase, very old, vintage. I think I got it at like a thrift store yard sale for $5. Love the hardware on it. Not digging the color of this, so I'm probably gonna paint it. Inside actually looks pretty good. It stinks like old musty, but it's a dark navy blue. So I'm just gonna wipe it out really good, vacuum it, and then I'll be able to set those things inside there. And we have to figure out what color we want to paint this. So I chose Little Stork from Fusion Mineral Paint. It's a discontinued color, but I have like 4 pints of this. I think I have 3 still available if you're interested on my website. It's a beautiful bright color, but it has a hint of like a gray lavender to it. So it's got kind of that springy color already invested in there, and that's why I chose to do that. I wanted something bright because I knew I wanted to use the IOD transfers on this. And this IOD transfer is called Menagerie. Beautiful, beautiful birds, cages, flowers. It just screams spring to me. And so I wanted to be able to decorate the outside of the suitcase as well as the inside, in case like if I just want to have the suitcase shut with something on top, then it still looks gorgeous. Or I can open it up and display a bunch of little vignettes inside as well. So that was my thought behind this whole suitcase makeover. This is a very large suitcase, and so it kind of made it a little bit harder to fill, so to speak, as instead of like doing maybe like a small train case or something. But I'm doing a new makeover in one of my bedrooms, and it's the English garden bedroom, and so this is going to fit perfectly in there. So Fusion has its own sealer, however these transfers needed to be sealed into the suitcase, so I'm using my Fusion Tough Coat in matte. I love matte, it's my favorite. We also do have a gloss in this Tough Coat, but for the most part I use matte because I just like that look a little bit better. So I did put 1 full coat on there and then let that dry completely. So in the box she gave me a little bottle and she gave me tulips. I'm like, how perfect is that? So I went ahead and just put the tulips in the bottle and project complete. So that was easy. So she also gave me a book, and so I'm going to go in with my Fusion in the color Lichened. It's a really pretty green, but it has like a kind of a tan brown aftertone to it. And so I wanted this kind of a color to go in with the garden theme, but I am going to be using one of the birds from that same transfer. And I only used 2 transfers in this entire video. Most of it was that Menagerie, and then the other was called Lost Garden, which is perfect for my theme. So I did do 2 coats of the lichen, made sure to cover all that yellow, and then I chose a gorgeous bird from the Menagerie transfer, put that on the front, and using my little stick. If you've never done a transfer before, these are super simple. They give you a little stick and you just push it down and then put your finger underneath that plastic piece as you go. And then once it's all down, you take that plastic cover and rub all over it. It's called burnishing, and then you'll want to seal it. So then I took some golden ticket from DIY and I lightly rubbed around the edges and just kind of brought some of that gold tint to the sides. And I thought about putting some like in the bird, but he's got some yellow on him, so I thought I would just leave it alone for now. And then that project is complete. So a lot of these projects weren't hard at all. There was one that took me a long time to figure out what I was going to do. And so this next one, she had this really pretty little silver tray. And I actually made my own pink, and it was with cranberry and picket fence on Fusion. Now this is like a complete bubblegum pink, and so when I put the 2 coats on, I'm like, that's a little too bright. So I did tone it down again with some more picket fence, and then that's when I got this color. Again, I'm going in with one of those transfers, and I'm placing that down inside. And this one has a lot of the greenery, some white flowers and some like pink and lavender flowers. So I thought it'd be really cute. And I also took some of the picket fence on a dry brush and just kind of lightly dry brushed around the outer edge there and on the inside, just to give it some different character and dimension. And then I did seal it with my Tough Coat in matte. So this could be a cute little trinket tray. It could be a catch-all. It does have little handles. And then you can also just rest it up on its end in a vignette. Like I think I put a little bird's nest in this, and that looked adorable. There's all kinds of things you can do with these little trays. This next project, we have a little bird's nest. She gave me 2 of them, and then she gave me a little ring with beads on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hot glue the bird's nest to that ring of beads, and then I'm going to add some of the green moss. I think I got it from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to hot glue some of it in, and I don't want it like completely full. I just want like hints of the green in there, and I kind of put it in between the beads as well. And I didn't show you, but I did end up taking Fusion's Manor Green and Bayberry and stippled that on the white part of the nest so that it doesn't look wintry. We want spring. We want to get out of the winter blues. And then she also gave me these little wooden mushrooms, so I thought it would be cute just to paint a few of these up there and then hot glue them in that nest. So I did use Elmwood, Woodwick, and I believe I used Tapestry and Cranberry for these, and I think these turned out super, super cute. These little mushrooms you can put in any little vignette for like a fairy vignette or just a fun garden area. And I think, yeah, you can pick these up either at the dollar store or any craft and hobby store. But I think this little nest turned out super cute. And like I said, I did end up covering up that white snow on there, and it looks much better. And then the next one, we have some random pieces. So we got this box and it had this wire handle on it, and I think that's a stake cut out of it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that with my quick and thick glue, let it sit overnight, and make a base out of that tile. So I'm going to go in with some Algonquin, which is a very popular color for Fusion for staining. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of frame there, but I did do 2 coats. I thought about covering up that hole with like a mold, clay mold or something, but you know, if it's going to be in my suitcase, it's basically just going to be a riser anyway, so you're not really going to see it. Then I did go ahead and put some florals on there from that same transfer, and I can either just keep it like this or I can set something on it, and I did use it as a little bump up, which makes it nice. So now the reason I chose more of a neutral color for the baseline is because it's more of a background piece. I wanted the florals to pop really well, so I didn't want a super bright spring color on the entire thing because I wanted the florals to be the main part of it. So that worked out really well. So this next one, she gave me a little cigar box, and it's cardboard, I believe. So I'm going to go in with DIY Salvation Solution in white because there was some pen marks in there, and so this is really good for stain blocking. It still had a little bit of trouble with the red on the inside, but that's okay because I was going to decoupage the top of the box and the inside of the box on the top, so I wasn't that concerned with it. But I did want to make sure to put at least 2 good coats of this on there. And again, I went in and made my own color because I didn't have the neutral color that I wanted in Fusion open already. So I used Snowdrop, which is their brand new white, and Renfrew blue, and I mixed those two together, made a really pretty light kind of turquoise blue, and then I added some bayberry to that, and it made the most gorgeous and perfect color for this box. It's like a really nice sage color, and this is one of the decoupage papers that I have, and I bought this off of Etsy. They have a whole bunch of like vintage floral seed packets and all kinds of things, so I bought that and just printed it out on rice paper, and I'm just kind of piecing together a couple of these here. And then the top of the box, I am using Connie's paper from the Painted Photographer. She made a gorgeous garden floral page on for the top of this, and it just fits perfect. That color is what I was going for when I made my color, and I can't believe I actually got it like spot on. And this paper was one of her exclusive papers for Sonnet's membership makers box, and so for the month of January, so I kind of wanted to use that. And look at how gorgeous this is. She creates these images and paints them, and I just love it. I love everything she comes out with. She's so talented. So I'm going to put that on top, and then I made this into like a little seed box. So I didn't get a chance. I had so many projects that I made that I didn't have a chance because we can only have a 20-minute video. But I did end up using some cardstock, and I made little seed packets from my other vintage seed decoupage paper, and I made 3 of those, so it looks like little packets of seeds that you can flip the lid up and have those in there. And then I kind of decorated it with the little tulip bottle, and it just was perfect. Now this was the hard one. I was like, what in the world am I gonna do with like these stakes? And so I'm like, well, okay, let's try to put these two together. So I used Starbond's Quick and Thick glue and accelerator, and this stuff, I'm telling you what, you guys, this is metal on metal, and usually glue does not work, but this stuff holds like a champion. I love it. And this is like a thick viscosity, so it's kind of like a thicker, not quite gel, but almost. So I let that sit for a while, and then I went with the bright color. I went with Fusion's Coral, and I thought, well, you know, let's make this part pop out. And so painted it 2 coats of coral all the way around. And then, you guys, this is where I thought I had the coolest idea. So I took this old paper from Roycycle Treasures, and I believe this is another Sonnet's maker's box, and I took the bottom half off and I folded it like a fan, and I'm gonna make a fan. And so once I had that all accordion folded up, then I went ahead and took both sides of the paper, and I just hot glued it to the metal part, and I think it turned out pretty cool. I was like, okay, this could work. And so yeah, I'm gonna fan it out, and then I stapled the bottom, cut the excess off, and then glue it in there. And you know, you can pretty much find anything around your house and make something cool out of it. That's what these videos are for, is how challenged can we get? And Lisa gave me a good challenge with this, so I hope I've done her proud. Anyway, once this was all finished, I went ahead and I started decorating. And that's the funnest part, was decorating the actual suitcase. And so I had to grab some florals from my basement and a few things just to kind of bump things up because that suitcase is so deep. But look at how she turned out, you guys. I love this. I could have actually finished painting around the edge of the inside of it, and I can go back and do that, but look at how cool this is. So there's the fan, there's the little seed box with the seed packets and the book. Got some fun spring florals in there, and she gave me these little blocks I didn't get a chance to put in there, but she had these little toy blocks that I painted and put IOD transfers on and stuck that little bird on there. So let me know what you all think. I had a great time doing this video. Make sure to check the playlist because there are so many other videos that are so inspiring. This is like the funnest group I've ever been in, and we all have amazing creative talents, and so check those guys out and be looking for our next Flippin' Frenzy. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but we will be promoting that soon. I hope you all have a wonderful week and take care. Bye.